Huh? Yes.
Good evening, everyone. Sitting here tonight, we're going to try a new little topic. We're going to go through some stuff here, and we're going to just kind of try a weekly comment, or a weekly show, I should say, where we just kind of talk about the world of sports and what's going on. No topic left unturned. We'll talk about whatever people in the comments want to talk about, anything on the guys on the panel want to talk about. We got a little bit to talk about this week with some of the stuff that's been going on. I'm going to be hosting it. I'm your host for these, which is going to be SEC Sean. We're going to have random people join tonight. We're joined by the one and only fearless leader of the WTP Sports Dude, Robert. How's it going over there in your world tonight?
Man, I'm feeling good, man. I'm ready to check out this game tonight between Oregon and Indiana. Watched a really, really good game yesterday between Miami and Ole Miss. So I'm just ready to talk about some random sports stuff that we're going to talk about tonight. I'm interested in what we're going to talk about.
For sure. It's like I said, just something we're going to do randomly. Just, kind of more of like an opinion-based show. What do you think about this and that and this and that, instead of just like getting on and breaking down games and talking about and just get people's opinions. And we'll bring people in from the outside. If anybody's in the chat, y'all wanted to ever come on live with us, we'll bring you on. We also got our buddy. I'm kind of outnumbered in this podcast. I'm not liking this. We got the two Texas Longhorns versus the Aggie here, but we'll make it work somehow, I'm sure. But we're joined by our good buddy Doug down there in Houston, Texas. How's it rolling down there for you?
Oh, doing well, man. Ready for this game tonight. Like Rob said, last night was an unbelievable game. But yeah, I'm ready to roll, man. Appreciate you having me.
Oh, it's never a problem. Glad to see we got our buddy over here in the chat. Level Up Sports 10 Mossberg. He's in the chat. And I'm betting he's probably going to go to work since he's got like 75 jobs, I think. Every time I turn around, that dude's working somewhere. So just kind of jumping off of it, the easiest thing to jump into real quick, last night's game. Great game. Didn't expect it to be that close. I will be the first one to tell you this. Thought Miami would beat them pretty handily. But your quick opinion on, should defensive pass interference been called on the last play in the end zone on a Hail Mary? It's never called on a Hail Mary. Should it be?
Well, should it be? Can it be? Probably, yeah. Should it be? In that situation, I was fine with it. I don't know. Some people said it wasn't a Hail Mary. It was just a long pass or whatever. But I mean, it would have been a hard play to make either way. But I thought it was okay to let that one go. I mean, it would have been what a 15-yard penalty, another play. What would have been?
I need to look into it, but because it occurred in the end zone, I think the ball goes to the 2-yard line.
Wow.
I think it's the NFL rule. I may be wrong, but
I think sometimes if it's outside the red zone or a certain distance, then it's only 15 yards. So I'm thinking if it's outside the red zone, it's only 15 yards. But if it's inside there, it would have been on the 2-yard line, because there was a couple of games I've seen this season where a guy was interfered in the end zone, and they didn't put it on the 2-yard line. They only gave him 15 yards. So
okay, that may be.
I'm interested to see what that rule is too, Sean, because I thought the very same thing, that they would go to the 2-yard line. I felt like that play shouldn't have been called a pass interference because it wasn't that much egregious contact to where I think that play should have been called a pass interference. But if it happens and it's egregious, I think they should call it. I mean, team should gain the advantage of pass interference in a guy and it not be called just because it's the last play of the game.
I agree with that because I mean when you see these last passes, these Hail Mary, so to speak, these guys, everybody's pushing and shoving each other. Receivers are pushing DBs are pushing. To me, let that play out.
Yeah, it's the last play.
I was
Pretty
fine
much.
with the no call in that situation. Of course, I didn't have a dog in the fight. If I was an Ole Miss fan, I'm probably not real happy with the non-call. But
Right.
I do need to look into that because if that would have put the ball at the 2, then that changes the whole dynamic.
Sure does.
But needless to say, still was a hell of a game. I don't think anybody thought Ole Miss would get that far. Got to give kudos to that whole coaching staff and those players for dealing with all the adversity and BS they've dealt with, and still coming out and of course beating Tulane, beating Georgia, and pushing Miami to the brink. So you got to give that whole staff and all them kids out there credit for sticking together. So
Yeah, and I thought Miami was gonna win like you said, Sean, pretty handily. Well, not too handily, but man, I tell you what, they had a lot of they shot themselves in the foot so many times, man, with penalties. I think they dropped like 3 interceptions. I mean, I was like, oh my goodness, that was some crazy stuff, man. I was like, so I think they scored. I think Ole Miss might have scored at least once or twice on those missed opportunities after those missed interceptions, and then the offensive lineman number 73 had a rough night with false starts, but man, Miami, dude, I really like their offense, man. I love the way they play offensive football, the way they run the ball. I mean, even when they're down, they're still running the ball. They're wearing them down. We were texting back and forth about that last night, and I really dig it, man. And Carson Beck, man, I've been hard on that guy all year long, man, and I'm about to do a 180 on this dude. I mean, he's really showed some resilience, man. I really dig that.
nothing fancy, but he's just a baller. He just balls. He just plays ball. There's nothing flashy. There's nothing fancy. He was never going to be the number 1 overall pick or anything. But if you got a 4th and 2, I wouldn't mind having the ball in his hands.
A couple of years ago, he was like the most accurate quarterback in college football, wasn't he?
He was at the beginning of this year too.
Yeah. I mean, he's a prototypical, pocket passer. Not very athletic, man, but he's put together well. He's a big kid, proportioned well and everything. He's not all, weird looking. He's just his face a little weird looking, but he can. Man, he got some zip on the ball, and you're right, dude. He's just a winner, I think, man. What's this going to be, his 3rd championship or?
It's his first. He got 2 riding the bench behind Stetson Bennett.
Yeah.
So yes, he has rings, but they're not his rings. He did win them. I don't like that, but it's what it is.
Yeah.
Before we jump into the game tonight, real quick, and we're just going to go real quick heads up on this. Donnell Irvin said he's 30 years old playing professional college football. Well, he's trying to get the AARP discount like Diego Pavia is getting. So, but before we get into tonight's game, and we're not going to spend a lot of time on tonight's game because we kind of broke it down on chat before. But the news came out today with Ole Miss, with Chambliss getting denied his year of eligibility. I, for one, agree with it. And here's why, and I'll give my take real quick and then let you two chime in on how you feel. I think, first off, you need to be at 5 years total. That's it. Secondly, everybody says Diego Pavia got one. There's a big difference. Diego Pavia was JUCO. JUCO is not governed by the NCAA. Division II, where Trinidad Chambliss played, is. Plus, they can't verify because his lawyers are saying he sat out his sophomore year at Ferris State because of medical issues, but there's no documentation of it. So to me, great kid, great story. Hope he goes into the draft and does well. I don't think he needs another year. I didn't think Diego Pavia got one, but their rules were because it was JUCO. JUCO shouldn't count for eligibility. Does this open a can of worms for kids to go to JUCO for 2 years, train, get bigger and stronger, and then transfer to a bigger program and still have 4 years? That's going to open feeder schools like Blinn for A&M. So just what are y'all kind of thinking of all the denial and all this stuff? Just give me y'all's thoughts on those.
Well, I mean, I'm with you on, what you said. I mean, it makes sense. Rules are rules. They're governed different. Crazy they can't find any documentation on what he said at a university. That's kind of weird. But, kind of is what it is. I don't know. I'm good with it, Rob. What do you think?
I'm good with it as well. I feel like, man, 5 years is all you should get to play. That's it. I love his story. I wish that we could have had an opportunity to see him one more year, but I'm okay with them denying it because, man, listen, you got to play it in your 5 years, man. I don't want to see a guy getting a 6 year, especially when it's not some kind of medical red shirt, some gray shirt or something like that. And even then, man, when guys get to play in 6 and 7 years in college, like the guy who went from Oregon to Miami not this past season, but the year before, I just think that's a little bit too much, man. And like Donnell's point is, he's being facetious when he's saying that he's 30 years old. He is a professional playing college football. That's what we will be getting into with some of these players, man, trying to get another year of eligibility. And I think 5 years is all you should get. And I hope they adopt that rule at some point where once you get out of high school, you got 5 years to get all your play. And if you don't get it in 5 years, you're going to have to go ahead and become a professional whatever.
Right. Yeah, I agree 100%. My take on it. Plus, doesn't really affect me if he comes back for another year or not, but I know he's on Texas's schedule, so y'all are probably a little bit happier. He ain't going to be there. You ain't going to deal with him. So, of course, we got big game tonight. Indiana, Oregon rematch from earlier in the season. Indiana went to Oregon and beat them 20 or 30-20 or 20-10. I don't remember the exact score. It was a 10-point game, I know.
Yeah.
What are y'all's takes on this one? What do you think's going to go down in this one, Rob?
Well, if Oregon thinks they're going to beat Indiana, they better be fundamentally sound. They better not make no bunch of penalties, unforced penalties, false starts, jumping off sides, none of that stuff, because that's something that Indiana is not going to do. They're not going to miss assignments. They're not going to jump off sides. They're not going to have a bunch of penalties. They're going to play within the framework of their scheme, and they're not going to make a whole bunch of mistakes that you can take advantage of if they make any mistakes. So if Oregon is going to be able to do something with this team, this Indiana team, they're going to have to play mistake-free football. They're going to have to be able to run the football for one, and they're going to have to be able to protect Dante Moore, because in that first game, Indiana was able to get a lot of pressure on him, a lot of pressure, and they can't have that in this game.
Yep. No, I'm with you on that. I like Indiana again in this contest. It's a neutral site. I know both defenses are really good. I think Indiana's offense is a little bit better. Like you said, they don't make mistakes. Their schemes, they stick with the game plan. Oregon's offense, and like you said, they have to run the football. But I think that we're going to see some turnovers in this game, and I think it's going to be on the Oregon side. I think with Indiana, I think they won by 10 points in Eugene. So neutral site. I think they're rolling so hard right now, man. I think they're unstoppable right now. So I'm going Indiana to cover 3.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
Donnell got his, but it's can't beat a great team twice. He's going with Oregon for the win.
That's been the trend. That's been the trend. I mean, they've been losing these rematches.
It's really hard to beat a good team twice. I think the game hinges, can Oregon stop Indiana's running attack? I know it sounds bad to say you want to make Indiana beat you one-dimensionally by passing, because they're really good at that too. But that rushing attack they've got is something else. They've got to be able to limit the explosive runs. They've got to win on first and second down. Oregon does, and in my opinion. I think Oregon wins. I think they get it done. At some point, I'm expecting the lights to get too bright for this Indiana team. That team has never had anywhere near this level of success. They're like the second worst, or they have the second most losses ever in college football. The lights are going to get bright for them at some point. Oregon's been there, done that. So not saying that's the reasoning of the game. I think Oregon has learned a lot, and they've gotten a lot better, and I think they get the win in this game. Going back to something you said a minute ago, Doug, you said something about Miami and how they were rarely uncharacteristic, having a bunch of penalties. That's what ticked me off the most in that game, is because coming into the A&M game, they were one of the most penalized teams, and then they had like none. And then against Ohio State, they had none accepted, if you remember. And I was like, what is this? Come on, man. So I was kind of mad that they waited to use all their penalties last night. Could have used a couple of them against us. So other than that, that's kind of our college football. We've got quite a bit of news breaking out in the portal, though.
Gee.
I got 2 Longhorns on here, and that's my first question is, what is going on the 40 acres?
Dude, I've been asking that for like a few weeks now. What are we up to, like 20 guys in the portal? That's crazy.
Go ahead and talk about it while I'm going to try to pull y'all's up.
I think who's the newest one? I know French was the other day. That kid's from. I've been wanting to see that kid from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I'm pretty sure he's going to go home somewhere, probably Florida State or something. I think he's visiting Florida State and Miami and all that. But what's really bothering me, man, is that we're not really getting anybody to replace these guys that we're losing. I mean, I think we lost 20, and we gained 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 3 out of the 7 are special teams guys: long snapper, a kicker, and a punter. Got a running back from Arizona State. I think I remember seeing this kid. He's good, really good actually. I like the tight end from Michigan State. I really don't know a whole lot about him, but I like what I hear. He's kind of one of those super physical, plays through the whistle, get in your face, type of player. We need that at Texas. So I'm okay with that for sure. The defensive tackle from Arkansas, I don't know much about him. I think he's a big kid, but I don't know, man. It's kind of weird. I mean, and they just keep one after another. They just keep leaving. And out of these 20 kids, almost half of them, about 9 of them, are from out of state. A lot of Florida kids, a couple of Cali kids, Pennsylvania, Louisiana. I don't know, man. I don't get it, man. I was talking to Sean. We were talking about it. I mean, I know we think Sark wants to go to the NFL. But I mean, is it something they're just not keeping their promises, man? I keep hearing these rumors about Parker, like Livingstone. He said someone said that he was like his deal was like $500,000, and he got like 3 something, and then they started telling him, we're bringing in people, and all this and that, and a lifelong Longhorn, as a freaking Sooner, man. I don't understand this. It makes me sick to my stomach. It really does. So I don't know, man. What do you think, Rob, with this with Texas? What's going on right now?
I think right now they have to play long ball, and the guys who are leaving, like Elijah Bo Barnes, just decided he's going to hit the portal too. They had a conversation with him and his father, but he decided, hey, I'm going to go ahead and go somewhere else. The thing I don't get about his situation is you're in your second year. You had an opportunity to play in this bowl game and you played really well. Don't you want to compete? Because that spot is open. I mean, it's there for you to win that job. Why wouldn't you want to sit there and compete? Of course, Texas is going to go find some other guys to play linebacker to have depth. But you're only in your second year. You haven't even stayed in the system for 2 years before you go somewhere else. You leave after your red shirt year, which I don't understand that. And there's several guys across the country who have left their school after 1 year.
Yeah.
How do you know you're going to go somewhere else and play, especially if it's another Power 4 school? Now, if you go down a level in Power 4 schools, you might be able to play. But don't think you're going to go and get the value that you think you should get from Texas somewhere else. I just don't understand it, man. And I feel like at Texas, their hands are kind of tied because you have players who are starters, who you got to take care of. You don't want to put a whole bunch of money in the pockets of somebody who you really don't know what they're going to give you. Jamie French and those guys who transferred out, you don't really know what they're going to get you. You have 1 year to see them. You don't know what they're going to give you in year two. So why would you want to give them all of this money? Say they don't produce. They're going to want that same amount of money or more the following year, their third year. And you just can't afford to be giving money away. And I think Texas and a lot of other universities are starting to realize, listen, we cannot keep giving these guys fresh out of high school these nice deals to get them to come to our university when all they're going to do is probably bolt the very next year. Because we need to have experienced players playing if we want to win championships. A la Indiana, probably got the most experienced team in the country. That's why they are so fundamentally sound and so good. Texas is trying to get guys who got a lot of experience that they can put out there on the field that they know is not going to make a lot of these boneheaded mistakes like we saw an undisciplined Texas team do this past season with a lot of those young guys.
Yeah. No, I don't get it either, man. Like Bo Barnes, like you said, like you already have one guy at your position that left, that LaFleur, whatever the name is. I think he signed with Colorado, LaFleur. And so I know they got a 5-star Tyler Atkinson coming in, a freshman. But but I would think Bo Barnes was like probably ready there. I mean, he had like you said, he had a good bowl game, which maybe, I don't know, maybe teams see that and they start throwing money at him or something. I mean, I don't know what they're doing. You think other teams are just poaching players, is just throwing money at him or something, or because
I think that they're agents, man. I really do believe this. I believe that agents are out there with these players. Some of these agents or some of these representatives, them people ain't legit, bro. They don't know what they're doing. They got these players thinking that they worth all of this freaking money when they really are not worth. They haven't done anything on the field yet to warrant that kind of money. These young guys that I'm talking about. I'm like, dude, you cannot think that you're going to go and get all of this money from somebody else and you haven't even produced on the field yet. I feel like Cam Coleman is going to mess around and these teams are going to say, listen, we're going to blackball this dude because he tripping. Why
He's
hasn't
seeing
he signed
everything.
with somebody yet?
Yeah, man, he's seeing everybody. He's just taking it all in or something, man. I don't know.
You should have already picked a school by now. You already know what the money going to look like. You already know what each of these teams look like as far as their quarterback, what they got around you, how you can fit in their system. If you haven't picked a school yet, what are you waiting for? I don't understand it.
Yeah, even as an Aggie, I'm still perplexed by the struggles I seem to see going on over there in Austin. It just doesn't seem. It seems odd to me that a school with all the resources in the world is struggling that much. Yeah, we're waiting. I know Cam Coleman went on his visit today to Alabama. Coleman's going to be one of the last dominoes to fall, I think.
Oh man, I don't know if
It seems
he's
to me
coming.
that Texas has put all their eggs into that basket, though. And I need to look up the credibility of this, but I heard that dude got food poisoning in Lubbock when he went out to eat.
Oh, when he visited Texas Tech?
Well, somebody said,
Okay.
I was like, I need to verify this because that should be really funny if it was true, though.
But you know what, Sean? You're right, dude. It's gotten so bad at Texas, dude. I heard that even Sark, I can't remember which player got in the portal, decided to come back, and Sark said, his rule was once you enter the portal, that's it.
Yeah.
But he let him come back. So I'm like, oh man.
They let Derek Williams come back. He never put his paperwork in though.
Okay. Well.
And then so what's the name? Will Muschamp wanted to have a conversation with him, so he didn't put his he never put his paperwork in, even though he had told them he was going into the portal. And then they ended up talking him out of putting his paperwork in. So that's how. But I'm telling you right now, coaches got to change that mindset too. They're not going to be able to do that because it's if a guy wants to go out there and test the waters, you're going to have to let him come back if he wants to come back, because the reality is you got to fill those voids with experienced players who already know your system.
Yeah.
So I think their hands are tied, man, right about now. Because the portal,
we're gonna see a lot of young kids next year, Rob. A lot of freshmen playing. But hey, we got some over there. Like I want to see this Terry the Third kid that from Alamo Heights last year. He was the #1 rated athlete in Texas last year. Nobody really knows much about him because Alamo Heights, you don't really hear much, but he was all everything over there. And I want to see that kid. He's not in the portal, so I know they got a 5-star running back coming from Charlemagne, Madonna, Florida. That private school out of Florida.
Yeah, Derek Cooper.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's a little crazy. I mean, I think right now Indiana's got the lead for transfer portal moves so far. I like what my Aggies have done. We've added pieces we needed. Haven't lost. I mean, I think our counts now, we lost 14, gained 13. But we're still in the mix for quite a few more people. We've brought in 4 offensive linemen, a bunch of D linemen, some linebackers, some corner. We got that cornerback out of Tennessee who was shut down corner in 2024. That dude was really good. I think he was shut down corner until he ran into some of our favorite friends up here team. They kind of torched Tennessee pretty bad, but Ohio State torched about everybody bad that year. So, but he's coming over. I know we're in the mix for Cam, of course. We're in the mix for Singleton. He just entered the portal today from Auburn. We're in the mix for a couple other receivers. Really need to get a running back in here. We really need a running back in. That's what I'm now. The big name in the running back market changed now. I don't know if y'all saw who entered the portal today. Justice Haynes from Michigan.
Did you really?
Yeah. So that's the big name. I'd love to see that guy here.
They said
But-
Georgia Tech offered him $3 million. Is that true?
I don't know. I'd offer him more.
Parlay Poe said he's staying at Michigan though.
He may stay. That's the difference. Some of these guys, man, they put their name out there just to see, and then
They're just shopping.
Well, go back to a couple years ago when there's a university. I don't know. It's somewhere in the middle of Texas. I think it's orange, some nasty color of orange. But they had a baseball coach who they fired, and then they stole one at a cemetery.
Yeah.
Jim Snakenagel, is that his name?
Something like that.
Lost Nagel.
Snakenagel. Yeah, that's what I thought. And all the players from A&M went into the portal, and they all came right back to A&M. Those kids have to watch out for their best interest. Little different in the college football thing, though, because they're jumping out. I mean, let's look at some of our chats here. We got our man, One Take Zay, out there. He's been good to see him in here, too. I haven't talked to him for a while. Ohio State's switching their whole philosophy. They're not paying high school kids no more. They're going to turn to the portal next cycle. That seems to be where it's trending, which I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, I guess it's okay. That's kind of the nature of what's been built right now.
It's not good for the high school kids, though.
No.
No, I mean.
Well, I mean, the high school kids are going to have to start learning that they're going to have to wait their turn. To be honest, go back 20 years ago, like we've said. When you came in as a high school freshman, you didn't play in the Big Ten or the SEC or the Big 12 back then. You did not start in very rarely. Let me say you didn't, but very rarely did somebody do that as a true freshman. Normally they'd register.
If they did, you knew about it. If they did, you knew about it. For sure.
Right. You had the kid that started as a true freshman at Texas from Manville, Reggie Hemphill.
Hemphill Map.
Yeah, Reggie Hemphill. Anyway,
Reggie Hemphill Maps.
As a freshman, he was playing. True freshman. So nowadays, the high school kids are just going to have to realize, okay, I'll sign my scholarship. I'll go get a free year, get some weight and strength in, and if I need to, I'll transfer. That's why I hope the transfer rules change too, where they can only transfer once. But we'll deal with that in another show. Got to give a big shout out to our buddy Mossberg at Level Up Sports 10 for the super chat there with the, like and telling everybody go like and subscribe to all of our channels. We appreciate that, Moss. And not only like, subscribe, like I always say, hit the little bell so you get notified when we go live.
Yeah.
See what else
I caught a couple of Mossberg's interviews, man. He does a good job.
He does a good job on there.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to get both of y'all on. I'm still working on some questions. I want to get both of y'all on to do a season review of Texas football. So we'll have to find a time we can get both of y'all on and we'll go through that. Let's see. I know we got some other comments in here. According to our buddy, again, One Take Zaya, got Bo Jackson is looking at hopping in the portal. And he's looking for more money, apparently.
Damn.
These kids, man, it's all about that money now.
A lot of these high school kids are reclassifying. They ain't waiting on these bags, man. They're ready to get it now. Booby Feaster. I want to say that Malachi Tony. I think he might have reclassified. I want to say, or somebody might have. Somebody else played.
So did A&M's quarterback Brady Hart, their backup. He reclassified. He's just now 18.
That's insane, man.
Yeah.
That is insane to me.
Donnell got it exactly right. Collegiate is collegiate. 5 years should be 5 years. So, let's see.
They got to fix this, man. This is too much. They got to regulate.
Here's a good question we can talk about that Zaya posted. What do you guys think about this? I gave this a lot of thought. Why don't universities just go spend all their $20.5 million that they're supposed to get on roughly 60 players. That's about $333,000 per player, but just pay about the size of an NFL. But the problem is that 20.5 has to be spread across all sports. That's not just football money. So you have to give other money. Now, I mean, I guess you could use other money that you earn from football to pay those other players and just use, I guess you could. But that's a thought. If you do get 20.5 million, why don't you just go get some, a bunch of middle of the road players versus one superstar and a bunch of low levels? I could see his point on that.
Yeah.
Most universities is getting the majority of that money. And one take, Zay, I'm telling you right now, I can see collegiate, especially at the Power 4 level, they are probably going to go to like 65-man rosters, bro, and do that exact thing that you're saying. Cut down the number of players that you got. And if you go beyond that 65, those guys beyond that 65, your incentive is the fact that you get on college scholarship. You get your school paid for, but you ain't getting no NIL deals. You ain't getting no name, image, and likeness money. You ain't getting none of that 20.5 pop. You just getting a scholarship to be at this university. And maybe after a year or two, you might be able to earn some NIL money. But I think universities are probably going to go to just that 65-man rosters where they can afford to pay these guys, much like you see the NFL do with their 53-man roster. If they can do it in the NFL, college universities are going to probably adopt that mindset and that format, man. I really do believe they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're right, Zay. Football's getting the majority, almost all of that money. I've heard some schools are spending $17 million on their football roster and splitting the other $3 million amongst everything else. It's just going to be a matter of what schools deal. How do you deal with it? Do you want to spread it out amongst your football and basketball teams because those are your two big real sports? Or are you going to dump it all into football and kind of just deal with basketball? So we'll see where that plays out. But that's some really good takes, Zay. Like I said, I'm really happy with what my Aggies have done. And by the way, Doug, y'all have put 22 players in the portal and signed like 9.
Hey, we got an offensive lineman from Oregon State, man.
You got a guy too. I want to say D lineman Cryer or something like that from Florida State.
Okay.
He's on campus. He hasn't.
Oh, it said today. I saw a thing earlier said he had committed.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
His brother was a basketball
did. I know the defensive lineman Zion Williams signed.
Yeah.
And I know they were talking about Cryer too. I didn't know if he had if he inked it in or not. But if you say you saw it, then that's another good pickup because they needed him on that defensive line to go with the big guy from Arkansas.
Yeah, Gerard or whatever.
I
saw that he did. I don't want to say that he did to get Texas. I saw that he signed, but you know how things go when you read and you got to be careful with.
You got a lot of fake news out there, man. It's crazy.
But it makes sense because his brother was a basketball star at Baylor and Houston. LJ Cryer.
LJ Cryer, yeah.
Oh, speaking of Baylor, man, isn't that where DJ's going? Lagway?
That's what I'm hearing. I thought it was Florida
That'd be
State,
nice, man.
I'm hearing it's more leaning Baylor now.
Okay, good.
I know our tight end Theo Mellan-Ostrom, the kid from Sweden, went to SMU.
And Ty Simpson, is he going to the NFL or what's he doing?
Ty Simpson declared for the NFL.
So they're not going to start this mad guy over freaking Keelan, man. Come on. He better than him.
Dude. If they do,
Keelan better hit the pole. Man, Keelan needs to come home, man.
We're going to see what happens. There's still quite a bit out there to go on. I mean, kids still have to the 16th to put their name in. That doesn't mean they have to find a school by the 16th. They just have to have their paperwork in by the 16th.
By the 16th,
so,
yeah.
This Cam Coleman thing, he could draw this out till spring ball.
Oh, man, I don't know. He's making me not want him now, man. I mean,
you know what? There's been a bunch on my A&M message boards that said I'd rather go after somebody else. I could go get 2 different players for the cost of Cam Coleman.
Mm-hmm.
So,
we done lost. Texas done lost too. They lost Parker. They lost what's his name? The other wide receiver, Moore.
Yeah, Jamie French.
I told everybody I want that kid out of Ohio State, Porter.
Who?
That's why I wanted it. His what's his name? Quincy Porter. Is that his name? I think that's his name too. 6'4", 230, something like that. Kid's huge, and I'd be like, I want him. If he was recruited to Ohio State, he's got to have pretty good receiving ability.
Yeah, that's for sure, man.
Not really much else. I mean, there's been a little bit going on in the world of basketball. Had a crazy finish in the A&M Auburn basketball game. For all you that didn't catch that or see that, go look up the finish to the Auburn and Texas A&M men's basketball game. Pretty wild. So just a little bit of stuff. Just it's kind of what we're going to do when we have this show. We're just going to kind of chit chat and BS, not much going on in hockey in Columbus. The Blue Jackets are terrible again. My Dallas Stars are doing pretty good, but they went on a 6-game losing streak, but they won last night, so that was a plus. College basketball's full ramp. There was a question that somebody posted about college basketball with Duke and said, what is wrong with Duke's defense in college basketball? It's like they can't stop anybody anymore. I haven't really watched them enough to get into that on depth, but I saw that pop up, so it made me want to go watch them and figure out what's going on.
Hey, Sean, speaking of baseball, my Astros, we got ourselves a pitcher from Japan. Can't remember his name, but it looks pretty young, and he's excited to be here. And I like those some Japanese guys, man. They can pitch, man. These guys can play ball.
Real quick here on a side note of a random sport topic. Do you see who retired today in Texas high school football?
Oh, yeah.
He resigned.
Tascasita guy. Tascasita.
Craig Stump. Yeah.
Stump. Yeah.
Yeah. He resigned.
He retired, didn't he?
I don't know if he retired or resigned, but I mean, he's out. So, not much.
Who's going to take that? Who's going to take the South Lake Carroll job, man? Who are they going to get?
I don't know yet. I don't know. I'm keeping an eye on it. I'm following my buddy Matt Stepp. He's breaking all the coaching changes. The guy from Pleasant Hill, or is it what is it? Texarkana, Pleasant Grove.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he resigned too. I've been thinking Scott Surratt might take South Lake Carroll if he leaves Carthage.
Do they like to throw the ball over there? Ooh, Indiana just scored.
They don't have to. What?
No. Indiana just scored.
Pick 6?
Already.
Yep.
Yeah. You was right, SEC, Sean. Justin Cryer did commit to Texas at the linebacker position. Yep.
Okay.
So step out of the running for Raheem Bowles from Pitt.
Yeah.
Which is another reason why probably Bo Barnes jumped in the portal.
Right.
This is crazy to me, man.
Yeah. Most of the guys that entered the portal from A&M didn't even ever play. So it's not, we didn't lose a bunch of starting stuff. So I'm not too worried. I want the kids to go find a good home if that's what they need to do. I know Miles O'Neill landed at North Carolina. The backup quarterback we had, he's at North Carolina now. So we'll see where that leans. you know,
So,
just like I said, we're going to be doing this once a week. We'll pick a day that works good for Doug and I. And then if anybody, Rob, Zay, any of you guys want to join, jump on in with us
yeah, anything.
whenever. I'm going to tell everybody I've been doing my NASCAR stuff, putting out how to get the app and get all your free stuff with your points. I'm already up to 60 points in 3 days.
I gotta get that.
You do. Go watch my video. It'll walk you through setting it up. It'll get you set up. I got, there's been a glitch this week because it just re-upped. So it like keeps asking the same question and you can answer it every day and it keeps giving me the points for it. So that'll get fixed soon, but that's how we've got it. But we're climbing the points already. Anybody in the chat, if y'all ever join us again and you want to talk, baseball, college basketball.
Hey, we're gonna get to March Madness here before you know it, man.
I mean, hockey, it doesn't matter. Whatever y'all want to talk about. We're sitting right here. We got the AAA team of the Cleveland Guardians right here and the Columbus Clippers. We can talk some Clippers. We can talk whatever y'all want. That's what this show is about. This is just kind of a hodgepodge of what's going on, and if there's any good big topics, we're going to discuss them and get everybody's opinion.
Can we talk some Space Cowboys, man? Sugarland Space Cowboys?
Hey, whatever we got to do. We'll talk whatever. I know Doug and I'll be putting stuff together coming up in a couple of weeks with high school football. The realignment's going to take place in Texas, so we're going to get on and talk about some of that. It's just going to be kind of whatever. I wanted to get something that was just a little more like something that wasn't more of a scripted type show, something that was just more kind of free flow and what topics. Is there anything you're hearing in the world of sports you want to discuss or get somebody else's opinion on? And that's what I wanted it to be, just kind of like a round table for guys to just kind of sit around and talk ball.
Mm-hmm. I want to ask y'all a question too and get y'all's thoughts on what do y'all think about 2-year, two-year contracts with a two-way buyout?
They got to do something like that. I'd be fine with some sort of structure like that. Like just like sign a 2-year contract. You can't leave for 2 years or something. Or if you do, you're penalized somehow. So I remember back in the day, wasn't it, Sean? If you wanted to transfer, you had to sit out a year. Wasn't that how it was? I don't know if they should bring that back, but
I want them, if they're going to do something with the transfer rule, I want it to be you're free to transfer one time free. The second transfer, you sit out a year. You lose a year of eligibility for your second transfer.
Yeah.
So that's what I want to see brought back. I liked that rule. It stopped a lot of this 4,500 kids in the transfer portal. What are we doing?
How many are actually going to find a home, man? They're going to be on the street.
No, that's the problem. They'll find a home. But these guys that were getting $2 million at Texas, that I'm going to go, and then don't get anything, and they wind up taking $500,000 to go to Texas A&M Commerce, are going to be pissed off. But I agree with the 2-year thing here, especially for high school kids. That's where it needs to start. Yes, you can come here. You can get 2 years of your education paid for 100% free. But if you transfer out, you have to pay us the cost of the tuition. And cost of tuition ain't cheap.
So it's one and done. If you want to transfer, it's one time. And you got to do it within the first 2 years?
Well,
or did it matter?
No, I don't care when you transfer. You get one free transfer. You can go play 3 years at the University of Texas and transfer to SMU after that. Free. But if you go to the University of Texas and you play your freshman and sophomore year and then transfer to Baylor, and then you want to transfer from Baylor to SMU to play your senior season, you lose that senior season because you're out of transfers.
They got to do something with that.
And you'll see a lot of kids saying, okay, well, I want to take a red shirt for this year to preserve that extra transfer. But it's getting out of hand. It's way out of hand.
It's a free fall now, man. This is crazy. I can't even keep up with this stuff, man.
It's just It's free
Your team
agency.
is changing every year. Like, I mean, it used to be, it took you watch the kids play for 4 years, and it seemed like, oh man, it seemed like that kid was only here for a couple of years, But now it's like they're here for a semester, and they're gone.
Right. Look, I mean, the
They're
first
playing
one
a
to
bowl
really
game. You
do,
see them all year. They play in a bowl game, have a good bowl game, they're gone.
the first one
Like,
you saw do it was Quinn Ewers.
What? Where at high school or at Ohio State?
Well, all of it.
I don't blame him for doing it in high school, man. The rules are the rules.
We talked about it when it happened. No kid leaves high school in Texas if they're on a state championship contending team. He bolted early, went to Ohio State to get his bag. And I told everybody, I was up here when it happened, and I told everybody I worked with, he's here for 1 year and he's going right back to Texas. Watch. And they're like, no, he loves it here. Ohio State. I said, mark my word. He's here for 1 year, and then he
got a bag. You're right, man.
That's exactly how it was. So, FYI, Oregon's driving right now too.
Yeah, they are.
That's a good point. I agree. I like the take of the two. Something's got to be governing this. This is getting way out of hand. This is way worse than any free agency in the NBA or football. Or this is, these are 18, 20-year-old kids.
And who's representing these kids? Who's representing these kids? Is it a real?
Some are. Some have agencies that represent them, and some have like me. I will be happy. FYI, any athletes that are watching this, I will be happy to be your representative. If they want 10%, I'll take 3%. I'll take 3%. I'm fine.
I'll take 2.5.
We'll start our own WTP Sports Agency. That's what we're going to do right here. So any Division I athletes that want representation, please contact us.
Yeah, we'll start in high school, man. We'll start getting these kids.
I don't know how good we're going to do, but we'll do our best. That's all. That's going to be our slogan. We'll do our best.
I know there's some coaches out there that want to see that the agents have to be certified. You can't just have some representative.
You can't be your own.
They got to be certified by the state that they're in, but they also need to be certified by the NCAA.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that 100%. I think they all need to be, certified, invested, bonded, whatever you got to do to get, whatever the legal pros is for that. They go back to your boy, Vince Young. Look at what he did when he went to the NFL. His uncle was like his agent or something. And
no, man, messed him all up, man.
You got to have somebody, especially, and that was a guy who was, 23 when he left when he left college somewhere around. You're talking about 18-year-olds getting getting $5 million as an 18-year-old.
So 17.
Don't know what to do with that money. And then we're shocked when we're seeing all these stories about kids out running around, driving drunk. Why are you surprised? These kids feel like they're the gods of the world right now.
Yeah, you would too, man.
Yeah. Shit. I'd have felt like that if I had $50,000. I didn't even need back then.
And then you got
back then I'd have been happy with $5 in a tank of gas. Come on, man.
Hey, $5 got you a tank of gas.
Well, that's true. That is very true. But yeah, I mean, there's just something's got to go. I don't know what the answer is. That's one thing that we'll probably discuss a lot on the show is what is the right answer.
Just can't stay like this.
And I don't know if there is one. I don't know if there's one right, true answer. I do. I miss the days. Call me old school. Call me old. Call me what you want. But I miss the days, Rob and Doug. You're not that much younger than us. But I remember the days when kids went to school and that's where they stayed.
Yeah.
I remember watching the Bucky Richardsons come up and play for 4 years at A&M. And by the end of that fourth year, you felt like you knew that guy. Even though you never met him, you felt like you knew him.
You knew, yeah, absolutely, man.
There was
watching them grow. Yeah, it's great.
That's what I've said with all these rivalries. It's just not the same as it used to be anymore. There's no hatred between Texas and Texas A&M except for the fans. You know, and that's just the truth. The players don't hate the other team because, hell, I might need to transfer there next year.
Yeah. Like a Livingstone, man.
Well, you would never see a kid go from Texas to Oklahoma, Oklahoma to Texas, Texas to A&M, A&M to – you would – back in the day, you wouldn't have seen them gone from A&M to Arkansas, A&M to Houston, you know.
If they transfer, they'd go away far, man.
Oh, yeah, they went way away because, you know, they didn't have a choice. Well, I think the Southwest Conference had that thing that if you wanted to transfer out, you lost your year of eligibility, but you couldn't transfer in conference. I know the SEC had that when they had the fall portal or the second portal. You could transfer to a conference school in the first portal, but not the second. They did that because kids would go and get all the playbook and then transfer to a rival school and have all their plays. So that was so. I want to hit one more topic that's been popped up on a few things just to get y'all's opinion because we're all guys from this conference. Do you feel the SEC is overrated, or do you feel that with this portal era, everybody else has caught up to the SEC, or the SEC has kind of regressed down? I mean, you know what I'm saying? You know, has the transfer portal era made everything more even in football, or is it just that the SEC's down?
I definitely think it's the portal, it's the NIL, it's everything, man. And you know, I want to bring this up, man. Remember, we used to talk about this guy, Jeff Traylor over at UTSA. I remember hearing that he was asking UTSA if they would get more money to put into the program, the football program. And he's still there, man. So that tells me they're at least thinking about it, man. I'm going to tell you something, Sean. If the University of Texas San Antonio is kicking around the idea of competing at the highest level of Division I, dude, this is – what are we talking about, dude? This is crazy. This is totally different. This is different stuff now, man. So, the SEC is still – but, yeah, they're catching up. I mean, it's starting to even out a little bit. I mean, it's crazy. So,
I mean, I still think that the SEC is the best conference in college football in terms of week in and week out matchups. Now, when you start to say, do they have the best team in the country? Where they used to have the best team in the country, that's no longer the case. There's always a really, really good team, well, at least the last 2 years anyway, a better team than everybody in the SEC has come from another conference. But week in and week out, top to bottom, the SEC still is the best conference, but those conferences are definitely catching up to it, for sure.
Yeah, it's kind of my take on it is it's not the level of dominance that you saw from, like, say, 2010 on to, like, 2019, where the SEC was winning it and playing each other most of the time in the title game.
right.
You know, it's kind of made it – I'm not going to say – I love the SEC as a whole, every sport, but it's better when it's equal to me. I got tired of seeing Alabama and Georgia play every year in the title. I don't want to see that. I want to see Miami. I want to see Oregon, Indiana even. You know, I'd love to see us there. But I want to see new teams. And I think we have that. It's 7-7 now. Oregon just scored.
Dang it.
So, yeah.
Sure did.
I keep hearing it brought up on so many different podcasts that I watch and listen to. I'm just curious on somebody else's take. And I know there's going to be people in the chat that tell us that we're wrong because we're all SEC guys. I think we're even. I don't think it's that we're overrated. I just think it's leveled out. So I'm just kind of curious. I mean, I'd like to debate that with some other conference, a person from the other Power 4 conferences, one from each, and just kind of see.
Right.
Like
It's pretty.
Go ahead.
I don't
I said
think
it's
one,
pretty even.
Well, go ahead, Robert. No, you're good, Robert. Go ahead. You got it.
I don't think one coach will ever be able to dominate college football like Nick Saban did. The way this thing is now, players aren't necessarily even. I ain't gonna say they're not concerned with their coach because they do want to get developed to make it to the NFL. But a lot of players went to Alabama because they wanted to play with Saban and that winning ways that he had. I don't think any coach will be able to dominate like that ever. As long as NIL on the portal was there, no coach will ever be able to dominate like that ever again.
I agree 100% with that. I think the days of what he win 7 titles.
So,
Did he win 7 or 8? I don't
He
remember.
won 7 in 14, 15 years.
Yeah, but he won the first one at LSU and the other 6 at Bama, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think. I'll have to look up his numbers.
Yeah.
But yeah,
He knew when to get out, man. He knew when to get out.
You're not going to see a coach with 6 or 7 national titles again. I just don't see it.
Not unless they coach for 50 years.
Right. You know, now the kid at North Texas, I mean, that coach is what, like 35?
Yeah.
Maybe. The one who went to Oklahoma State. But yeah, I don't see that either.
Yeah.
So yeah, just kind of curious on that. It just kind of keeps.
It's all evening out, man. I mean, the SEC and the Big Ten, they're pretty. I mean, they're pretty even now since they went to the Power Four, and yet you have Texas Tech. They might have the best facility in the whole country, man. From what I'm hearing, it's like state of the art, man. It's like amazing.
I mean, I can't imagine. I know they pumped a lot of money into it, but I can't imagine they have better facilities than an A&M, a Texas, and Ohio State. I just can't see it.
Man, I've heard it's ridiculous, man. I don't know.
Sure, it is. I mean,
they got some virtual walkthrough thing up there. They got all crazy stuff, man. It's Texas Tech, bro.
Oh yeah.
Well, I heard Texas is about to invest $2.8 billion into renovating their stadium again.
They need to. They have to.
This is about right. They're
going to
add
crazy.
Dude, this is exactly how it lines out. Every 3 to 4 years, one of either us or y'all renovate the stadium and add seats, and you will then pass us for capacity, and then we're going to renovate and pass you back. That's how it always has been.
They renovate the locker room like every 2 or 3 years, man. I mean,
they have to. You have to be up to date with these kids.
I know, it's crazy.
Back when you remember the year we put Jalen Preston and all those 5 kids at A&M, and we got to go. I got to go tour. They had just finished the remodel of the locker room in the Bright Complex at A&M, and I got to go tour it with all the kids when we played 7-on-7 up there. We all went and did a tour. Coda Martin was there and all that. And we went and toured it, and they had, you put your cleats in when you come in from halftime, you put them in your locker, and it dries them. And your helmet goes on a cooling system. In your locker.
And that was 10 years ago.
Your locker is programmed with your favorite music with headphone jacks. It has like your top 50 songs programmed into your locker. And that was 10 years ago.
Smart locker 10 years ago.
Dude, that locker was smarter than me. That's not saying a whole lot for that locker, but I mean, it is what it is. But
hey, man, anything that can dry your sweaty Schimmel shirt, man, that's freaking awesome.
But
man.
Think about how far it's come in 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, because that stuff was making all those kids tour and going, oh my God, this is a. Well, now they look at it and go, dude, my grandpa had that, Craziness, the amount of money that's getting spent on this. And this is why people wonder, should there be a salary cap? Yeah, because if you turn it to unlimited budget, there's going to be a few schools dominate this.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, they got to put a cap on it. They got to do something.
Yeah, for sure. Well, this was, kind of a good first episode. Like I said, just something you threw out the other day, and I thought about it and thought it'd be a pretty good idea. So we'll find a day that works. good for at least you and I, Doug, and then Rob, if you're available, you're always more than welcome to join. So is Zay and anybody else. We let anybody in. They let me in, so they'll definitely let anybody in. But yeah, I mean, y'all go watch all the stuff on all the shows. Go watch our shorts. Our buddy Moss is over there, been chopping up some videos and making shorts for everybody. Appreciate that, Moss. Go watch them, go like, subscribe, hit your bell, get notified, keep up with us. We talk a little bit of everything, as you can see. We're going to have some more, shows that are structured for better things. Moss does a lot of interviews with people. Robert is normally our moderator who kind of tries to stir the pot with questions and gets us going. Doug doesn't have his own page yet. We're going to work on that sometime, though, trying to get Doug rolling.
Show contributor.
Doug's a good show contributor too. I got my buddy Adam. We're going to do some soccer stuff. We cover it all, guys. I mean, you pick it, we'll talk it. Like I tell everybody, if I don't know the answer to your question, I'll make something up that sounds good.
I'll make it sound right. That's funny.
So, anyway, it's a good Friday night, about 8 o'clock. We've been going for just over an hour. It's pretty good for this kind of type show, I think. Everybody go have a safe night and go watch the game tonight and check out all the channels scrolling at the bottom. That's going to be your guys to go to subscribe, like, and follow and everything. Other than that, I appreciate you gentlemen joining us. I appreciate everybody in the chat. One Day Zay, Level Up Sports 10, Donnell. Appreciate all y'all. And we'll catch up. I don't know if we're going to go tomorrow. Are we going to go tomorrow or not, Rob?
Tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Yep.
All right. I may get on. It depends on what the wife's got me doing, but we'll see.
All right, cool.
I'm going to try to jump on at least for a little bit. So
I'll be at work and I'll tune in.
Yeah, tune in tomorrow in the chat if you can join. If you can, join us, and we're going to probably break down this game tomorrow, or this game from tonight tomorrow. So y'all have a good evening. I appreciate y'all, and peace out.
All right, see y'all.
Good night, fellas.
All right.